compliqué avec des grosses équipes comme le Bayern, le Barça, Manchester et tout. Et nous, on va donner le maximum parce qu'on est l'AS Monaco et on va essayer d'aller chercher un 4e titre d'Agimonigo.
In this competition, we don't have a particular rivals because all the teams have very strong players.
So no rivals. I don't believe that at all. He's very much trying to underplay that, as very much so. But you heard from Usman Kabil, name dropped Bayern, Barca, Manchester United. But from their standpoint, they are still aiming for the 4th title.
Yeah, and he said that with a smirky smile. Fourth time.
And the thing is, though, they have the capabilities there.
Yes.
They certainly do. In terms of players, in terms of the actual abilities of those players, and then the players that are in control of the sticks, they have that ability there. I mean, I was speaking to O'Neill before broadcast and spoke about a couple of players that Monaco have lost in terms of the actual real world of players that would be potent in terms of the players. Badiashile, Chouameni have gone on to pastures new. So now Monaco, especially with Usman Kabil, have now got to find a different way of playing, but they still have players. They have Ben Yedder, they have Volland, they have Golovin, they have Baudu. In terms of Roma, of course, though, they've strengthened themselves in terms of the fact they've got Dybala, they've got players that can do real damage, and then you're going to put them in the hands of players, as I remember you saying, they're very stylish, these players.
Yes.
I remember you saying on Matchday, they're very stylish, these players. If you can play good eFootball and you look good doing it, it's a bonus. It's a bonus. But looking at how these two are going to line up, I think looking at it from what I can see across on the stage there, it's going to be Eldridge O'Neill versus Irma, and I think this has got the potential for fireworks.
Yes, and I think, as you said before, that Monaco has to show and has to explain why they are the reigning champions. They didn't quite show it on match day 1. Today they have a great opportunity against a team that is not so cagey as others.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it from Roma in previous seasons. We've seen it from last season as well. They have a very much a respect but don't fear mentality about them. They will respect their opponents, but they won't go into this game thinking, we're up against the 3-time world champion here. We're up against the 3-time Dutch champion here. Oh, we're up against somebody who's representing France this year. They'll just go, another day at the office. Another day at the office. Whereas, again, the expectation, as we've said, because Monaco have been so good historically, the expectation lies with them. Roma, I would say, as a football club, and then more so as an esport club, they love being the underdog. There's that mentality of, yeah, we're not expected to do anything, so we're just going to go out and shock everybody. And that's what I suppose I love about them as players is there's not that expectation of, well, we should come in and we should just win everything. No, it's not. No. Do you know what? We're good. We know we're good. We're not going to tell you we're good. We're just going to show you we're good. And again, against the 3, I would say, players that you've got on Monaco's side of the fence, in terms of Cams, in terms of Eldridge, and in terms of Usman, they have got 3 heavyweights that they have got to combat.
Yes, and in terms of jerseys, what a beautiful jerseys this match gives us.
Well, both of them. That traditional, the red and white Monaco with the slash across, and many have a good memory with that. And the Roma, I tell you, you talk about merch that you might be trying to get hold of.
Yes.
That might be something I'm trying to snag at the end of the season.
Of course. It would look very nice on us.
Oh, yeah. But in terms of where we are right now, again, we referenced it. So O'Neill, giving you a tale of the tape here, was runner-up in the 2018-2019 season of eFootball Championship Pro. He's a 3-time national champion. That's a record for the Netherlands. He's a record holder of that title. Meanwhile, Irma's side of the fence was runner-up for his national final in 2019. He was 3rd in the top 3 of the co-op for the entire region in 2019. But then more so, which is where I got to know him, semi-final of the E-Euros in 2020. It was, as we said at the time, it was a Cinderella story. It was a team that nobody fancied. They knocked out the likes of Germany. They knocked out some heavyweights that nobody expected. And Irma was key to a lot of the good fortune that happened there alongside his Romanian teammates. And he's carried that form through. He's carried that form through and that success through because he's somebody that you always point to and go, nobody really talks about him, but they should.
Yes.
That's what it feels like for me. They don't really talk about him at the level, but they absolutely should.
On match day 1, his game was quite good. I think he showed some very interesting features. And let's see what we have today in this match against Irma, representing Roma, and O'Neill, representing Monaco.
Yeah, to put you in context, if you didn't catch Matchday 1 was a 2-0 victory against Ostribuch for Irma. And again, for O'Neill's, or Eldridge O'Neill's side of things, was a 2-1 loss to Jose. So there'll be a little bit of kind of a personal journey here for both players. Irma will want to keep up a winning streak, and O'Neill will want to kick off one of his own.
And speaking of Ostribuch, that you just mentioned him, it's nice hearing Indominator as his captain, recognizing his effort.
Absolutely, absolutely. As Monaco look to lead us off very quickly, they're going from left to right here, as Desassi looks to gobble up the ball. And we'll go right to left. Right to left, from AS Roma in the black kit there. Ben Yedder flicks it on to Minamino. Back towards Ben Yedder. Baudou back onto Minamino. Minamino, can he get away from Ibanez? It's a good save from Ruud Patricio.
First opportunities for Monaco. He recovered the ball very fast and he counter-attacked right away.
Did indeed, but Roma will come back the other way. They have Tammy Abraham, they have Stefan El Shaarawy as well. Here's Pellegrini, has men in the middle. Marapan, the Chilean, comes away with it. Here's Baudou to Golovin. Matic intercepts it. Playing on serve. It's Dybala, Pellegrini. Pellegrini lifts one over the top, looking for Abraham, and he's found the net!
And it's on the first occasion of the match. 8 minutes have passed, and Roma goes ahead in the marker. The first opportunity was for Monaco. They couldn't score. Well, Roma says, you know what? If you won't score, I will.
I forgot to mention this in the pre-match. Irma doesn't start slow. Kind of forgot to mention that. He absolutely doesn't. Brilliant clip ball in. Abraham diving header. Goalkeeper, you could argue, should have done better. But again, it's a wonderful finish on the Englishman. And Irma finds himself 1 goal to the good there. You see there, just creeps past the goalkeeper. But they all count the same. As long as they get past the white line, doesn't matter how they get there.
And I can imagine him pushing both buttons at the same time in order
for the best is what it's called where I'm from. It is hoping for the best. You press the button and you just hope. As we'll see there. Here's Desassi. Looking forward to Ben Yedder, who's got away from the defender. Here's Minamino, and Kamara will come away with it. Up towards Tammy Abraham. Good chest down for the Englishman. Finds Pellegrini. Fafana loses it. Shaarawy. And towards Dybala. Dybala looking to turn away from his man. Marapan will win it back though. Here's Baudou, Golovin.
And if you have to coach a team like this, which player would you put on the first slot? The best player?
Which, in terms of player selection, I think again, given the context, you've got to put your best foot forward. As El Shaarawy looks to get his way in again. Kamara, nearly got there ahead. But it'll be Minamino that will clear it. But you put your best player out. You start off. You put your best foot forward. That's how I would do it, because you want to get points on the board. You don't want to leave it to chance. You don't want to even put your best player under pressure. You just put your best player out. Okay, obviously, it's an opinion based on who you want or you feel is the best at that point.
You will put the best player first.
Always put the best player first. But there's always some gamesmanship that comes in with these types of things, because you can keep people guessing. Here's Kamara, finds it through to El Shaarawy. El Shaarawy looks to knock it back across. Marapan will clear. Kamara wins it back in midfield, and it is all Roma at the moment. Dybala to Abraham, back to Dybala, looking back for Abraham. He's in again.
It's offside.
And there's applause, but they kind of have not realised there is an offside flag, and it will not count.
Yeah, it was near.
It was close.
Yeah,
it was very close indeed. Tammy Abraham looking for goal number 2, and it's a step.
Yes.
It's a step.
It's just a step, but that's enough for O'Neill to say, okay, this is bad, but not so bad.
If you're offside by a yard or a mile, you are still offside. Here's Ibanez forward. Gives it away to the Russian Golovin. Here's Baudou in towards Vanessa. Cleared away decisively there by Roma. It's El Shaarawy in towards Nemanja Matic. Clips it forward to Kamara. Dybala couldn't figure out who was going for that ball there.
Yes.
Enrique. It was Desassi. Disassi to Marapan.
This match is quieter than the ones we had before.
Very much so, but it has the ability to liven up at the drop of a hat. Benyever looking to play it forward. Minamino. Cristante intercepts it, finds Pellegrini. Pellegrini looks forward to Stefan El Shaarawy. El Shaarawy clips one into the middle. Heading back towards the goalkeeper. Nubel will take it clear. And again, if you're O'Neill or if you're Eldridge here, you have to build up slowly, get yourself back into this game. If you're Irma, you've got to keep your foot down here.
Yeah, you have to keep pushing. You have to keep having the ball and try to get this a second goal.
Absolutely. Matic clips one forward to Pellegrini. El Shaarawy, lovely one-touch pass in there from Roma. As Kamara tries to get it back. Golovin will intercept. Is Gelson Martins forward to Baudou, back to Martins. Martins has Baudou on the return. Has players over here if you can find them. Baudou. What's he going to do here? Baudou tries to clip one into the box. Rui Patricio takes that one into his grasp.
And the defender was lifting the foot. That's dangerous also.
It's just making sure that it doesn't go or a ground ball. Is Vanderson. Vanderson forward to Baudou. Baudou up against Chris Smalling.
A big shout out to everybody watching this match, watching this competition. Thank you very much for your support.
There'll certainly be keen eyes on this game. Always seems to be drama and eyeballs wherever Monaco go. Well, it's clear, but it is Roma who are in the ascendancy here. It's Pellegrini. Just to try and throw this one down the line, maybe. I'm just going to look back to Ibanez. He's just a little bit of feinting of who he's going to throw it to. Instead, he's going to drag players back and hopefully drop this ball in. As he does so, gets it into Stefan El Shaarawy. Goes for the first-time crossover. Enrique heads it back, and goalkeeper will gobble it up. Time is ticking on here. It will get to half-time pretty quickly. As Nubel looks to lob that one forward. Baudou chests in, does not clear that at all. Here's Kamara, Dybala, Kamara, Abraham, Kamara, Dybala. It's moving so quickly. Pirouette for Dybala!
Whoa,
what a goal that is!
Whoa. Can I say that we may have the goal of the day?
That's golazo.
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 Golazo without Arda.
Goal. What a goal that is from Irma.
Mamadera, incredible goal.
I said, players and viewers don't talk about him enough, but they should, because he is a quality individual. That is a fantastic goal, and it has echoes of that skill that Alex tried earlier on for Barcelona.
Yes.
That is what you do, and that's how you make it work. Fantastic. Takes two players out of the game. Dybala on his left foot with a controlled shot. It's his stronger foot. So fantastic finish.
In fact, you may look, he has 3 defenders, not 2. 3 defenders.
Takes them all out of the game. It's a wonderful finish.
Amazing.
And you can see the reaction there.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
It's a confident individual is Irma, and when his tail is up, and when that look comes across his face, like I said, that cheeky little grin, you know you're on for a bad day.
Well, it was an amazing goal. Collective play, individual finish.
Brilliant goal, and just before the half as well. If you're talking about traditional football stereotypes and tropes, a goal before half-time will change the team talk.
Of course. Yes,
definitely changes the team talk. It might not be over here, though. Here's Abraham onto Dybala. And ball's cleared away. Minamino looking forward.
Yes, he wants to have this half go to bed. And indeed it goes.
Fantastic goal. Fantastic goal. 2-0. And again, it just goes to show you don't need possession. Possession is very nice to have, but it's the quality of your possession. If you can make the ball work in the offensive half of the pitch when you are in control of it, it makes it so much easier to play.
It's important what you do with the ball, not just to have it per se.
Yeah. Having it for having its sake is not great. You have to do something with it.
Exactly.
As we'll see, second half kicking off here. Matic places to Abraham. Golovin intercepts it. Pellegrini though, El Shaarawy on towards Tammy Abraham, back looking for El Shaarawy again. It's scrambled clear. Only as far as Baudou. Baudou took back to Fofana. It's Baudou. So with it, Kamara. Abraham has runners. He's double touched. He's gone towards Dybala. Dybala looking to roll it to Kamara. Collision in the box, but nothing was given. Is Minamino. Goes the stunning pass forward. Baudu to Golovin.
And with this result, AS Roma is passing the Bayern Munich in the standings.
It'll be great to see those live standings as and when our production team will flash them across our screen. But you'll see so many changes that will go on. But you'll see so many changes go on as time goes on. As we see Chris Smalling look to launch that one forward. Tammy Abraham has nodded it down. Finds Stefan El Sharari. Tries to go cross field, and instead ball goes out of play for a Monaco throw. It's Minamino. Kamara intercepted.
Interesting match.
Dybala up towards Abraham. Vanderson. Oh, it's a risky one. He wasn't quite in control of the ball, and it nearly presented an opportunity, but here's Ben Yedder to Baudu.
And the striker just expected the error there.
He did indeed. It's good anticipation there, but here's Martins. Can Monaco get one back here? It's in towards the box, and Irma even looked surprised that ball had got that far across. Instead, Rui Patricio will come up and take that ball away.
Le nombre de spectateurs pour ce match, 72
It's Golovin. Gelson Martins, next goal vital. Here's Baudu. Baudu looking across, finds Wissam Ben Yedder in towards Golovin. Golovin controls straight off the post. Ibanez will clear.
Sometimes you also need a little bit of luck. Exactly.
It's that concoction that we spoke about, and the counter-attack is on here for Roma. It's Dybala from one end to another, and the ball is cleared away. It's timing, it's skill, and then it's a little bit of luck sprinkled in there. That's the perfect formula for playing a game of eFootball. You do sometimes need to ride your luck. As Minamino, beautiful ball in towards Baudu, the Dutchman. Rui Patricio.
Good manual goalkeeping. Very important in this part of the match, because a goal here would set things a little bit harder for the end of the game for Roma.
Absolutely, it would set up a little bit of a nerve-jangling finish to the game, but Nemanja Matic, again, that DMF position being so important to a lot of teams here, just to break up how a team will play as the ball is scrambling around here. It eventually falls to Kamara. It's Pellegrini to Stefan El Sharari, on towards Tammy Abraham, but Disasi will take it clear. There's Golovin. Forward towards Minamino, finds Baudu. Baudu looking forward, Smalling intercepts it. Pellegrini's back the other way. There's a 3v3 on here, but numbers are now getting back for Monaco. Here's Dybala, neat little double touch. Double touch again. Again, smart defensive play.
Once
just backed off. Backed off and waited for it.
Yeah.
Here's Martins.
One touch in excess.
Indeed it was. Martins looking forward. He's got players in support, and Silic will header it back, and time is still ticking on here.
Today doesn't seem to be Eldridge O'Neill's day.
Not at this point in time. It looks to be all Roma. As Vanderson will launch that forward. Finds Baudu. Smalling will play it backwards, and there's a little bit of that gamesmanship that we talk about. When we talk about killing a game off, Roma will know the importance of points here, especially against Monaco.
Yes.
They will know the importance of it. As Selic looks to launch it forward, they will know the importance of getting these points across the line. Here's Ben Yedder. Nemanja Matic intercepts it. Finds Stefan El Sharari in towards Dybala. Pellegrini. Abraham. Disasi intercepts it. Finds Gelson Martins. Martins to Baudu. Baudu to Gelson Martins. Martins looking to shape. Try and make a pass here, maybe. Vanderson back to Martins. Has a bit of space here. What will Martins do? Martins tries to play the ball in. Ricochet to Minamino. Oh, it's just wide.
It's very difficult for AS Monaco to reach to the goal, and once they get there, they don't have the accuracy and the precision that is needed to score.
You'll see from that angle there, first time strike just goes just bitterly wide.
But
that might be the last opportunity that Monaco see in this game.
They didn't bring much danger, really danger to AS Roma's goal.
If you look at the substitutions that may be coming on in just a moment, you've got Kevin Volland that's coming on by the look of things there, and whether it's too little too late at this juncture, maybe 5 minutes left, maybe it can't really be that impactful. As you can see, the small technical tweaks on the right hand side of your screen, Roma are just tweaking their situation here.
Changement pour l'AS Monaco.
Not
Le
long
numéro
left
9.
here.
Le numéro 18.
Patricio looking to distribute this one
numéro
forward.
17.
Riambolo has came on
Le
as well.
numéro 77.
And Urma repeating his 2 goals mark from match day
Le
1.
numéro 36. Le numéro 31.
And now it goes again. It's Roma with the ball. Pirouette.
Good double touch there.
Opa!
Rainbow flick.
Changement en cours.
Empezamos.
It's very rare that you see a rainbow flicking compared to
A
the
little bit
football.
of luxury there.
I think maybe just a little bit of showboating, but as we said, Irma is not shy of a bit of confidence. He knows that he's got the game by the scruff of its neck, and he knows that we are heading into injury time. Abraham heads it down.
1 minute.
Ball bounces to Volland. Here's Ben Yedder. It's Kevin Volland. Again, Nemanja Matic clears it away, and there is the final whistle.
And it's 2.
Told you, it's that smile. I told you, it's that smile. You don't want to see it. He knows what it means, though, to take those 3 points away from Monaco. He knows what it means, especially in the context of where we are. Because looking at the game that he had in front of him, he had to get that across the line. Because he knows full well that that's important for his team, and that's important for him personally.
And they seem a little bit lost. Look at these faces.
I don't think they can understand how that's happened. I think they're looking at it a little bit kind of dumbfounded, as if to be, well, how has that happened? But as you can see, the Roma reaction is a much of a difference, especially with how things have been there. You can see there, just floated over the top into the back of the net. And it was that man, Tammy Abraham, who has almost reinvented himself since going to Italy. And
yes,
from an eFootball standpoint, very much a potent weapon for Roma to deploy.
And very intelligent game plan from AS Roma.
Yeah, you can see that was the offside goal where it was a half step the other way. You can see that was almost the go-to move for Irma at that point, was just get Abraham to be the guy that's free in the middle. But when you see the secondary goal coming up, I hope that the people who are looking at the goals of the day, certainly this one will be up there. Triangle passes, gets it forward. Oh, it's a fantastic roulette. It's a fantastic roulette. Slots it into the back of the net. It's a fantastic finish.
You know, if you are coming to play after this game, you know that you will have very hard competition in order to get the game of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
The goal of the day.
Well, we've seen 3 that we have earmarked.
Yes.
Roxa, Indominator, and now Irma.
Yeah.
We've now earmarked them. Like if the goals panel are listening, it's very easy to try and take a selection. But again, Monaco just couldn't really get themselves in. There was the half chances here or there. That post hit. It was, if it goes the other way, we've seen post hits today and they've gone into the back of the net.
Yes.
If it goes the other way, complexion of the game changes and all of a sudden there's a lot of a different game. Instead, it just didn't go the way that it needed to for Eldridge and for Monaco.
And now we have Uzmakabil on board.
Yeah, it looks like it is Uzmakabil versus Stifler. And again, this one will be intriguing for me in the sense of Stifler had a very good debut season last season. In terms of, he wasn't necessarily, to take a point what we made earlier, it wasn't Irma featuring everybody else.
Yes.
It was Roma as a squadron with Gallardo and with Stifler. Both were kind of almost adjoining pieces to it. Stifler has had a few good performances. Again, though, it does kind of almost pale in comparison to a 3-time world champion, a back-to-back winner of eFootball Championship Pro. If matches were made on paper, this is a walkover from Monaco.
Yes.
But as we've noticed today, games are not made on paper, games are made on eFootball. And this could go...
And AS Monaco just has 1 point.
It's quite unreal when you think about it, because we talked about the perils that... Funnily enough, we talked about the perils that FC Inter have. Monaco is staring at a very similar situation.
Yes.
And they need to rectify it pretty quick.
Yes, indeed. And the fact that FC Inter made 3 points today also leaves them with a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, because again, if you don't pick up points in these next 2 games, you're slap bang at the bottom of the table, which, again, for a club of Monaco's stature within eFootball, again, if you look at when they've won the title, 2019's season, 2020 season, last year, they've won 3 out of the last 4.
Yes.
They have a reputation to uphold, almost. But again, we talked about players when they're angry. We talked about players when they're frustrated. Again, players who play well when they're frustrated. Was McAbeel.
Yes, of course.
Always plays better when he's frustrated.
Yes, of course.
And he'll want to set the tone. He'll want to set the tone for his teammates to say, look, give me something else to work with here. That's going to be the moment or the thing to really look for. But again, in terms of, if we looked at players' past results, Stifler's Matchday 1 result took out Indominator 2-1.
Yes.
So by the comparisons of what we've seen today, he should be in a pretty good position to take this challenge on.
Anything may happen here because, as we said earlier, these players are really excellent, all of them. There's no even one that you say, well, but this, this is so-so. No. These are all top players. They're very good, different styles, different backgrounds, different match plans, but all of them are great players.
Yeah, and it says something a lot about the depth chart, both within eFootball as a kind of an ecosystem or as an esports ecosystem. We could go into an entire list of people who could come and play at this level because, quite frankly, there's so many players. The issue is, of course, there's a finite amount of slots to the league. So the reality of the situation is again, as we said earlier, who are you going to drop? Who are you going to take out and go, you're not worthy of this, or you're not good enough to be here? Because we've seen from all of these players at some form or fashion in the last 2-3 seasons, we've seen them pull out wonderful performances. We've seen them pull out game changers. We've seen them pull out performances that you didn't realise they had. And who do you take out? Because I look at all of the players that are here and all the players that we've seen so far and that we are yet to see, and I struggle to go, I'd take him out of that team. I struggle. But looking at where we are here, I mean, in terms of where we are right now, I think looking at McAbeel looks annoyed, looks ready.
Yeah, well, that's an important thing. He plays not just against Stifler, not just against Roma, but against himself.
Yeah, but then you also look at Irma and his influence on everything. He's basically saying, keep it cool, keep it calm.
Yeah.
Because it's strange. You don't want to antagonise because, as we saw previously, one comment from anybody.
Yeah, it's enough to light the fire.
You do their own team talk.
Yes.
And instead here, if Stifler can pull this off, and Stifler can take this on, then that means it's 6 points for Roma and McAbeel has lost the game.
Yes.
But I can't look past Uzma because again, if you were doing a Mount Rushmore of players, he's your immediate top pick. He's your immediate top pick. There's no one else. So he's one of the greatest that's ever done it. And in my opinion, he's the best to ever do it. Now he's got to tap into that experience well that we talk about. And he's got to pull out some type of adversity. He needs to pull this out of the fire. And I think he can do it because he knows, if anybody knows this Monaco team better than anybody, it's just McAbeel. So hopefully we see that type of game here today. As we see, it's going to be Monaco from left to right. There's Volland to start us off early here. Volland clears the ball into the box, looking for there. Instead, Dybala will flick that one forward. He's Abraham on towards El Shaarawy. El Shaarawy forward to Abraham. Abraham looking forward. Kao Enrique takes the block. Malang Sarr launches that forward. It's Ibanez. Ibanez forward to El Shaarawy. Takes it under control. Turns out El Shaarawy trying to find a ball in field again once more. And an aspect of this we've not really tapped into. Monaco have got a target on their back here as we see Ben Yedder trying to make his way through. And the Patricio will gobble that up. But they have a target on their back.
Yes.
But rightly so. Almost the drawback of success is you're putting yourself in the crosshairs of every other team that are here. Here's Pellegrini forward, looking for Kamara. Kamara takes the touch back inside. Tries to play a ball forward, and Fofana will clear it. Here's Wallace.
As you said before, McAbeel looks annoyed. They are not used to this kind of results.
No.
So that's also some key ingredient.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're in a position where you are constantly winning, to be put in a position there where you then start to lose, it's a hard one to take. As Volland looks to make his way through. Good save from the goalkeeper. It's Pellegrini to clear it forward.
In fact, the only point that AS Monaco has was the draw that Uzmakabil got in Matchday 1.
It's against Mestre, if I remember right. That's a terrible mistake. You cannot give this man an inch because he will take a mile.
Amazing goal, proving the experience, proving his far sight, you know, always on. This is like the phones that they have this always on screen. Well, this guy is always on.
Yeah, and the thing is, you spoke about it before, players reading that header backwards because he's read it. He's read what was happening. He's not even challenged for that ball.
No.
He's read exactly what was going to happen. And fantastic, brilliant finish from Uzmakabil. And again, it's Monaco 1, Roma 0.
And he says, no big deal, no big deal.
It's hard to read because my French is absolutely terrible. Sometimes it's very hard to read exactly what Uzmakabil is saying. I think sometimes it comes from a frustration of, I didn't want to score a goal like that. Like, I want to score a better goal than that. And it seems like he almost challenges himself. But he has a lead, which is fantastic news for him. As we see Dybala, though, and Stifler looking to try and get their way back into this game. But Abraham takes a strike. Big save from the goalkeeper, and Volland will clear it away. Here's Golovin. Nemanja Matic up to Dybala. Fofana intercepts it.
And he's a very loud player.
Indeed. Obviously, the louder he gets, the more success he has. Is Bawadou. Big save for the goalkeeper. Could be mopped up by Volland. Yes, it is.
And now the difference goes 2 for AS Monaco, 0 for Roma. I hope this may bring Uzmakabil level back to normal.
I think this might be the little reset button he might have needed. It's again, it forced the save, and Volland just gets to it first.
Yes.
But its reaction is get to it first, and took it away. And again, he might not necessarily like the quality of his goals, but they're goals. They all count the same.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah, but in fact, he complained a little less on this second one than on the first.
Yeah, you'll
perhaps
see the
by the
reactions
time
there.
he's 4-0, he will start smiling.
Yeah, you just see him just shaking his head. I mean, like I said, I'm not a French lip reader, but certainly he's just annoyed, which, again, is something you need. You need a little bit of anger, you need a little bit of venom to really go into games. As you see Pellegrini, though, and it's El Shaarawy. Roma are not out of this yet. Abraham, oh, it's just wide. Stifler in disbelief.
And now is Stifler, who doesn't believe what happened.
Staring in disbelief that had happened.
And doing the typical Italian montoncito.
Very much so. Whisker
Cosa
away.
fa? Cosa fa?
Whisker away from goal that was. Well, as it stands, there's 2-0 for AS Monaco. Confirmation of the third goal from Uzmakabil. Malang Sarr. He's launched forward. Smalling beats Volland in the air. It's El Shaarawy. Pellegrini, El Shaarawy. On towards Tammy Abraham. Abraham goes to clip one in towards the back post. Could have gone anywhere. Goalkeeper didn't really know what was happening there either.
That was an interesting strategy.
Certainly feeding into the potential of getting Abraham in on goal. Certainly appears to be the order of the day here. He still heads it back. He's got trust in his ability, Stifler. And he's not out of it yet, is Pellegrini to El Shaarawy.
Yeah, it's just 30 in-game minutes, so the game is still open.
Ball's there, Dybala, wonderful ball. Oh, it's hit the stanchion behind the goal. Brilliant move.
Did you hear the Mamma Mia? I heard Mamma Mia.
I did not hear it.
Yeah, I heard the Mamma Mia.
And he knows the chance that's there. He
Yes.
knows the chance that's there. And of all players, you may not necessarily fall that to Mady Camara. If that's Abraham, it's probably a different outcome.
Yes.
Centre midfielder, 86 rated on their item. It's those little moments that you need.
I heard the Mamma Mia. That's as Italian as it gets.
Very much so.
We are in game 2 of match 3. The first game was won by AS Roma. This game, as for now, it's 2 for AS Monaco, 0 for Roma.
There we go. Ben Yedder looking through there again. Smalling intercepts it. Here's El Shaarawy. It's intercepted again. Is Volland. Baudou. Baudou, first time stroke. What a goal that is! Fantastic stroke from Osma.
And now it's 3-0. This is Uzmakabil at his best.
It's reactive, and it's taking a strike. Brilliant strike that is. Keeper's completely unseated, has no idea where to go.
Very good definition.
Après 33 minutes de jeu.
He knows that his players cannot have the ball much time because they may be a little weaker than the opponent. So first touch, and there it goes. It's 3-0.
Yeah, you can see there, Stifler trying to figure out exactly how that's gone in and why the keeper has not made the save, but it's not going to matter at this point. Fantastic work from Uzmakabil, again showing that level that we all know and appreciate. As you see, El Shaarawy, Pellegrini though, in towards Abraham, and the ball doesn't run to Abraham.
And now it seems like nothing will work for Stifler, AS Roma's play.
It won't, unfortunately, at this point. Uzmakabil slowly climbing up the goals table as well. As we'll see, Enrique looking forward. Clean it with the clearance, only as far as Golovin. Golovin in towards Kamara. Kamara, Baudou, brilliant backheel. Ben Yedder! He's free scoring. He's been let off the leash.
He's still saying no. 4-0. This is Uzmakabil on the house.
Brilliant finish from Wissam Ben Yedder. Again, finding that place in there. Just a neat pass, that neat back heel.
Once again,
shot.
Look, first touch shot. He knows
Brilliant
his
back heel,
players
that is.
can't hold the ball. So you have to change your game plan.
You have to move with the times.
And did he change?
Yeah, Stifler pretty much saying there, just sub me out. It's done. Don't. Let's get on to the next one. Fortunately, there is no mercy rule within eFootball Championship Pro.
Yes.
There's no white flag you can wave. You have to sit there and unfortunately take punishment when it is dished out. As you'll see, El Shaarawy trying to win the header down. Is Pellegrini, Dybala, and Abraham cleared away.
What a player Uzmakabil is. Even being angry or disappointed or whatever, look at this performance.
It's passion. It's passion. As part of my own kind of notes, it's both his biggest weakness and his biggest strength.
And I can see Camps saying, slow down.
Yeah, but if you know Uzmakabil, he's never going to listen. God love Camps for trying, but he's never going to listen. And because again, it feeds into that aura of, you know, this winning mentality. As you see, ball going through there. Oh, it's in!
And he needed this goal.
He's got one back straight from the kickoff.
And he needed this goal. If he wants to have any chance, he needs to score a goal in the first 5 minutes, and that's what Stifler has just done.
Well, at least there is a foothold of some description in the game.
This match is not
great
close.
Finish. It's not over just yet. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's anywhere close to being a comeback just yet. Certainly needed to score first if he was going to score, or if he was going to get back into the game. He needs to score the next goal. You can see he's very unhappy, Stifler.
And let's see.
I would be too if I had conceded 4 in the first half.
Let's see what did he save for this second half.
There's Ben Yedder, Enrique, forward towards Volland. Volland with the knockdown, got Baudou. Oh, it's a wonderful goal.
And this is how Uzmakabil says, okay, you scored on the first 5 minutes, I will do this the same. Now,
wonderful goal.
now things get back to normal.
It was the knockdown.
Yes.
The knockdown from Volland.
Yes.
When that ball comes through, it's this ball here is a fantastic ball, and it's that knockdown. Knockdown, Baudu, first time strike, into a corner. Fantastic goal.
5 goals.
It's watching the best be at his best.
Yes, yes. He recovered his level, no doubt. I for sure don't want to be on Stifler's shoes.
Well, Dybala's stolen it away there. It's Paulo Dybala, and Dazati will clear. Again, confirmation, 6 goals now. And again, if my memory serves me, that would put him level with Indominator at second place, but he may not want to share. As Ben Yedder forces his way back in here. Double touch, Golovin, Baudu! Told you he didn't want to share.
But he shares with Roxa.
He now shares with Roxa. It's a demolition.
Yes.
Absolute demolition.
Yes. No doubt. There's no room for annoyance today. I don't want to hear him being mad or sad.
This could get really ugly. It really could. 6 goals to 1. If my memory serves me, the last time I saw that many goals was, I think it was the Palma last season against Arsenal, where I think he scored 7.
Yes.
But this looks like it's going to get ugly in a hurry. 54 minutes gone here. There's so much time left on the clock.
A lot match to be played.
Ben Yedder heads it down. It's Fofana. And you had said about Monaco being absent from that goal table. They aren't anymore. As Matic looks to win the header. Baudu wins it down though, finds Kevin Volland. Volland into his Kamara. Baudu, Golovin, Ben Yedder. Blocked away, and Ibanez will scramble that clear.
It's amazing to see how it's all one touch.
Like you said, it's muscle memory. Ball into the box, and Rui Patricio.
Yeah, it's knowing your players, knowing your team.
Knowing your players, knowing your team. And as we said, if there's anybody that knows this Monaco team better than anybody, it's going to be a 3-time world champion in Usman Kabil. As we see, they're level with Roxa, with time still on the clock.
And this also proves that the name of the team doesn't close any discussion. I mean, you may play with any team.
Yeah, absolutely. It shuts down the narrative of teams are weaker than other teams, because if Usman Kabil can do this with this Monaco team, there's nothing to say that Cams and O'Neill can't do it.
Exactly.
Which I think is probably part of the discussion point as Ibanez tries to clear that way. But that's where the discussion point comes in. If Usman can do this, Cams and Eldridge should be able to do this too.
Yes.
I mean, if you're again though, on the flip side of it, of course, if you're Stifler and you're Irma should be, Stifler will be looking at Irma's result, going, well, how has he had the success there?
Yes.
And it may just be a case of it's an unfortunate matchup.
Yes, of course.
With no disrespect to any of the Monaco players, it's a different prospect playing O'Neill than it is playing Usman Kabil.
Of course.
So if it's an unlucky matchup, you could just go, well, it's a black swan event. It's something you don't really see all that often or at all, and it just happens. And that might be what we're looking at right now. It's just a kind of a perfect storm of Stifler against Usman Kabil, and it's just a perfect storm.
He wants this match to end right now.
I mean, he wanted the match to end at 4-0.
Yes, I know.
He was already calling for a substitute at 4-0. So
I know.
It's as we see here, Karen Rike bludgeoned into the box. It's Marapan. I don't think at the start of play I would have suggested that Usman Kabil would have or could have the potential to reach the top of the goal scoring table. Diatta with the air flick. Very nice looking flick, but I never would have predicted that he would have had the chance to go ahead of Roxa at top of the table. Especially with the fact that top 10, Usman Kabil's name wasn't even on it.
Yes, exactly. He had just 1 goal.
It's unreal, as Minamino is caught offside.
So from 1 to 7 in just 1 match.
Yeah, unreal performance from Usman Kabil. And again, if you're probably looking at in terms of performances, it's a very, very good performance from MONACO.
It's an amazing match that we are seeing. This is game 2 of match 3.
Ben Yedder looking around the corner for Baudu. Read the turn, but he couldn't get the ball off Smalling. Mr. Bala. Enrique runs it out. The briefest of wry smiles from MONACO there. There's Minamino looking forward. 10 minutes in game left here. Alongside with the header. There's Diatta on towards Minamino. Ben Yedder trying to flick it through the gap there. Send it to Cristante. Ibanez. Chris Smalling. Blocked up by Diatta. Matic wins the header.
And I can remember how you feel when you know that you are losing a match for so a big difference, and you know that you won't be able to get any near in the score. You want this to end.
You feel hopeless.
Yes.
I've been on the receiving end of quite a few batterings on eFootball, and it's not a good place you want to be. As Ben Yedder tries to flick that through, but it's that feeling of helplessness. It's like you can't get forward, you can't get back, you can't defend, you can't attack, you can't pass. You may as well just throw the controller at the wall, and that will probably do more than your own inputs in the controller. Yes. But you just kind of feel helpless. Ball is launched forward by Roma, and this will be a comprehensive victory for MONACO, and that will be 3 points in the bag for MONACO, and that will now mean that's 3 points apiece. Here, as you see, Minamino plays it to Ben Yedder. Can Ben Yedder find his way through? It's cleared away once more. And it's going to tick down, and there is going to be the final whistle momentarily, and that will be MONACO 6, Stifler 1. Incredible performance.
MONACO gets 4 now in their first 6. They get away from the bottom of the table. They reach 4 points, leaving Inter with the same number of matches on the bottom.
And then there's a live table for our last game. Not that we're going to shoot ahead to it, but we're going to have the top of, well, what was the top of the tree at the start of the day, which would now be at the bottom of the tree in the live table. So it would be interesting to see, as you said, whether AC Milan can pick that up, whether they're able to replicate that form.
Exactly.
But before we even get to that, by process of elimination, and I'm just doing the math in my head, it's going to be Cams versus Gallardo.
Exactly.
It's going to be a very interesting tie between the two of these. Again, you talk about characteristics and personalities. Both fiery individuals when they play. I watched Cams play a practice game yesterday, and you would have thought he was playing the game today. You would have thought he's that animated even in the training room. So if he's animated in the training room, Lord knows who's going to be like today. So expect, again, as we said, expect there to be emotion, expect there to be a bit of fire in the belly from both teams. But again, it was, as one-sided as we saw in Dominator versus Christopher, that was as one-sided as you're going to see between Uzmakabil and Stifler.
Yes, and now I can see Uzmakabil talking with Camps, giving him like instructions. The same can be said for the Italian team.
Well, like you say, in terms of knowledge pools between teams, it's pretty good. In terms of both teams there, they've got a knowledge pool to call on.
Yes, very interesting.
If you're looking behind you and you see Eldridge O'Neill and you see MONACO, you've done all right. And Cams himself is a phenomenal player anyway.
Yes, of course. And
yes, he had slight, I think the United kind of trio that they had where it was O'Neill and Osterbuch and with Cams, it wasn't the right mix, I think, at that point. I think this is more of his home in terms of, as we said, players sometimes like to be combative. They like to be in a place where they think, actually, I've got to go and fight everybody for this. And I think that's where Cams is at his best. When Cams has got his back against the wall, that's when he's at his best.
Yes.
And I think that's where he likes to kind of be. I don't think he likes to be in a position of too much comfort.
And here we are going for the last game in this match between Roma and AS Monaco. It would be Gagliardo 28 against Mr. Cam Stem.
And again, no stranger to nation or international cams in terms of, I remember Harry mentioning in Matchday 1 in terms of the co-op tournament that Cams and Kills You, who were a co-op team at the time,
Yes.
qualified as a duo against 3v3.
Yes.
And that in itself was unheard of at that time.
Yeah,
and it showed the level that they had.
Exactly.
And obviously you've seen, or you will go on to see Kills You later on today, and you'll now see Cams. But there's a pedigree there with it. And of course, again, with Gagliardo, we've saw glimpses of good performances from him in previous seasons. It's now a case of, okay, we know what your level is. Can you produce it?
Yes.
Again, your team's up against it. It's 3-3 in terms of the points gained. If you want to try and get your nose ahead of Monaco and keep your nose ahead of Monaco, now you've got to go and perform against Cams.
Yeah, and Gagliardo is 30 years old. Cams is 29 years old. So these are veteran players looking that they double Arda Golasso age, for example.
No, you make them feel old. Don't do that to them.
No. I'm older.
It's a stat.
And I'm older.
But I get your point in terms of experience, life experience, gaming experience. These guys will have been in the trenches for a good number of years.
And
so,
in fact, Cams have been all over the world. I've been with him in Argentina.
Yeah, but that's it. That's the level that, as we said before, that's what the level these players are at. These players are at a level where they have been to other countries to go and compete. They have been to regional finals. They have been to world finals. They've been to the eFootball Championship Pro before.
I think
there's so many levels to this. And as we've said, there's no easy games here.
No.
So the fact that we've just seen 6-1, that shouldn't have been that. But Uzmakabil was too good.
Yes.
He's too good. When he finds that level, when he finds it, he is unplayable. It's like I say, it's awful to be involved with. When you're on the end of that type of loss, it's soul destroying. Because now, if you're Stifler, you're going to go home now and be like, well, what do I need to change?
Everything.
But actually, you're on the surface of it, you think everything. But the reality is actually, you just come up against somebody who's better.
Yeah.
You've just then got to learn, go back and study that game film, and take on some of the lessons that you got taught in that game. Yeah.
Let's see what these guys are cooking.
You can see here as well. You see both sides. It's almost that mirrored 4-3-3
once again.
But that's because these players or these teams have got these players to use in these formations. These formations only suit the players that you have. If you've got a 5'5" forward, he probably doesn't play well to play long ball and try and get knockdowns from him.
Yes.
You need speed. You need to be mobile. Whereas with Roma, they have Tammy Abraham, who is a proven target man, and he's like 6'2".
And they have Dybala.
You've got Dybala, who you would then benefit from the knockdown, who's really skillful. So that's why that benefits them. And then on the flip side of this, Volland is normally the point guy, because I think he might be the taller of the two, if my stats are right. And then you've got Ben Yedder, who would benefit from it. So there's ways and means to get your way around this formation. You just need to make sure you do it in the right manner.
The Italians are really vocal right now.
They are. I think it's more so a case of Roma are. I think they're trying to figure out where they go next with this, because Gagliardo, like I say, is a competitive and combative player. And I think you're going to try and keep your cool across the board here, especially even if you're Cams as well. As you'll see, Golovin forward to Volland.
Well, the first change is that Cams carries the ball.
Yeah, certainly. It's a very early thing to look at. You see there Volland, brilliant touch into Golovin, who tries to turn around the corner. Smalley was too aggressive in the challenge. It's a block from the defender. Diatta can't get to it. But that's a big opportunity there. It's Enrique back towards Diatta. Diatta, neat double touch, try to take around, takes another double touch. Oh, what a goal! Fantastic goal from Cams.
And it's dramatically different than the kind of the game from Uzmakabil. It's exactly the opposite. When Uzmakabil touches just first touch play, comes, carries the ball, dribbles. It's very, very interesting to see these two teammates playing with the same team in things completely different.
It's like taking on the heads of a hydra. They've got three completely different play styles.
Exactly.
Fantastic footwork. It was a double touch into another double touch. But you'll see again here, recycles the ball from a chance that should have been, could have and should have been converted. Double touch from Diatta into his feet, takes another double touch, takes it round, and then it's the controlled shot. It's an underrated controlled shot. When you hold either R2 or RT, depending on what console you're on.
Yes.
The controlled shot is a very underrated weapon within eFootball. You can get that little bit extra bit of curl. It curls into the bottom of the court. It makes it harder for the goalkeeper to get to. As we'll see here again, or as we'll see from the lead-off here, is Abraham to Dybala.
Well, very, very interesting for me is to watch, and this also proves our point, our earlier point. Sometimes it doesn't mind the in-game team you're using.
It doesn't, indeed. Here's Dybala. Dybala trying to snake his way through there. Enrique blocks it off. Dybala trying to benefit from his own block there, and ball is launched clear. But to your point, you are correct. It's all about how you utilise these players. It doesn't necessarily matter about the team itself. It's how you utilise them. You're only as good as the team that you have, and you're only as good as the person controlling them. Here's Nemanja Matic for Stefan El Shaarawy. El Shaarawy double touch inside, goes to the control shot, good save for the goalkeeper.
But in fact,
Abraham recovers.
There
Chances
was
gone.
a lot of gossip and social media talk about Monaco, if the team is weak, is not weak, is fast, is slow. Well, today they are playing with two different styles and both are working.
Absolutely, indeed. They may have just found the key to their form. Here's Kamara, tries to clip it in field. It's a corner ball. And certainly have come to the party here in the early going of game 3. See there, Cam's trying to figure out how he's going to deliver this ball in. Ball goes deep over Disasi. Ball's bounced down. Ben Yedder, it's ricocheted. And it's gone for another Monaco corner.
That was also a dangerous play.
Could have gone absolutely anywhere.
Roma is not defending well.
Ball into the box once more. Header in. Good save for the keeper. Matic with the clearance. El Shaarawy will scramble that clear, and Dybala has not got a lot of people up with him. He may just have to try and do. He may have to try and do a lot here, and Dybala has done very well.
Alone in the dark.
He's given the ball away. Prime real estate. Diatta throws the ball in, gets it back from the throw receiver. Plays it in towards Ben Yedder, who's got some time and availability. Plays it in, Golovin! Oh, he's pulled it wide!
That was...
Reaction of Monaco says it all.
That was incredible.
O'Neill's head in his hands. Usman's out of his chair. And they're shrugging their hands as if to say, how did he miss that?
That was very, very hard to miss.
It was harder to miss than it was to score. It really was.
The goalie was defeated. There was no defender.
If he'd have gone maybe a controlled shot, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. There's Volland, tries to play it forward. He's got Smalling and he's read the challenge. He's read it well. Here's Ben Yedder across the box looking for Diatta. Header is clear.
We haven't seen anything from Gagliardo yet.
We haven't as yet. It's Abraham up towards Dybala. Dybala. It's Karen Rico. It's taking it clear. No foul was given. Here's Kamara. And it may be something to be said that they may have just found the key to unlocking their game plan. As we see here, Volland, brilliant ball from Diatta. Kevin Volland turns in field, tries to get the shot away.
So perhaps the answer is training.
Perhaps the answer, within Monaco is you're trying to find out what you do well, not what the other teams do well. It's Junior Wijnaldum. Dybala clips it in towards Abraham, cleared away. But the answer might just be just perfecting what you do well. I know we say talking about particular game plans you can employ against teams, but you also need to have your own game plan that you know quite well.
Yes.
As I see ball go in towards Dybala. Dybala trying to keep it in field. He can't. It's out of play. It's a Monaco goal kick.
It's difficult when you cannot get 3 or 4 passes together, you know? It's very hard.
It is indeed. Kamara blocks off Dybala. Kamara looking forward here, finds Kevin Volland. Mancini gets the ball. Advantage given. Ball is launched forward again.
Once again.
Enrique. Kamara.
Starting from scratch. Now Monaco is freezing the game.
It's Volland though, Volland's got away. It's Kevin Volland once more. Plays it back towards Golovin. It's hit the defenders. Is it going to be kept in? It is by Diatta. There's Golovin once more though. Golovin, Diatta. Diatta rolls in the ball towards Volland. It was dangerous, but it was cleared away.
And Camps needs another goal in order to be sure of this game.
Needs to really solidify that lead, but Dybala, and as we said, in terms of 1-0, it's a really bad lead to have, because you've got to then build on it. Otherwise, you're going to allow people the opportunity to get back in here.
Exactly.
Roma have a corner. Quite close to half-time here. Dybala dinks in, looking for Matic. Abraham heads it towards goal.
Excellent goalkeeper.
Anuba will happily take that into his hands.
Excellent goalkeeping.
It's Dybala. Dybala onto Abraham. Back to El Shaarawy. Last action of half, surely. El Shaarawy is away. Zalewski in towards. It's towards Dybala. It's going to be a corner.
I don't think it's time.
It's going to be no time for the corner.
Gagliardo is greeted by his teammates.
Looking for some inspiration, looking for some comfort a little bit there. I think he knows he's got some opportunities here if he can fashion the chances.
Yes.
I think Cam's, on the other hand, knows that he's got the goal and knows that he doesn't necessarily need chances, he just needs to make sure that he defends his lead.
Yes, but also in the second half, he knows that his team suffers a little bit more of being without energy.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see, Zalewski in towards Dybala, Karen Enrique. It's Dybala who's got away from it. It's Abraham! You don't need me to tell you, Roma have equalised. You can hear it all from Gagliardo. You can hear the reaction, you can hear the emotion.
And we didn't have anything from Gagliardo. Well, now we have, my friends. It's 1-1. He went for the equalizer, he got it right away. Kickoff goal.
I think it's this read here. It's Dybala. It's if you super cancel your run, if you hold L2, you can break away from what the game is trying to get you to do.
Yes.
And allows you to be quicker and have you a bit more free running. It's then allowed him to get the ball into the box. Abraham's got a clear finish.
And now we have a tie.
Now comes back the other way. Here's Kamara.
And this is a full tie because we are tied in points also.
It would certainly be. It would be a full tie here. It's Gagliardo's first goal. As you see, Zalewski in towards El Shaarawy. Back towards the header of Abraham. It's cleared away as far as Wijnaldum. Zalewski in towards Abraham. El Shaarawy. Good save for the goalkeeper. And had to be there.
Now the wear is starting to show in Monaco's players.
Yeah, you can see the energy is dropped, but that's a wonderful ball from Volland. I don't know where he's got that from. It's through to Ben Yedder, and Silic will take the ball away. Here's El Shaarawy on towards Zalewski.
Good defending.
Zalewski, Abraham on towards El Shaarawy. El Shaarawy trying to find a way through.
And now is Gagliardo the one who plays like Usmakabil and with fast touches and first passes.
Yeah, you can see the confidence is up. It's his first goal of the tournament, by the way.
Yes.
His first goal of the league. What a time to grab it. As we see El Shaarawy in towards Abraham, just can't quite get the ball through. Malang Sarr will clear that forward. 60 in-game minutes on the clock here, 30 to go. And this will be the last game of this series. As we see Stefan El Shaarawy looking to roll into Zalewski. It will be cleared away once more. Volland with a bit of an improvised pass. It didn't quite get there. His Fofana.
It's getting tougher for Camps to hold the ball, to have possession.
Great ball through. Abraham's onside there. It's looking towards the header of Zalewski, in towards Dybala. Kamara will clear.
It's like it's all in the feet of Roma.
Nemanja Matic steals one in possession here. He's moving forward in transition. It's Zalewski looking for Abraham. Dybala tries to clip it back into him. It's just not quite there.
Monaco cannot grab the ball.
You can almost hear Roma just willing every touch. Gallardo just shouting every touch to be friendly. And instead, it's Diatta.
I understand a little bit of Italian.
And I would only suggest that you probably don't repeat what you probably heard. But you can probably hear here, though. And I would imagine if Monaco can get a goal here, the explosion of emotion may just be a little bit of a response in kind. But Dybala, though, will play his way forward.
We may need to bleep it a little bit.
Is the Diatta on towards Ben Yedder. Nemanja Matic will clear it away. Sharari, clear forward. Golovin. Good defending there from Roma. Wijnaldum springs it forward. Maripan, it's just going backwards and forwards at the moment here. Here's Fofana on towards Diatta.
This is the last game of match 3.
It is indeed. They are 1 win apiece at the moment. Punched by the keeper, but it's an offside, so it doesn't really matter.
Not much time left. Usman Kabil won his match. Urma won his match. And now they are tying this game. 1 for AS Monaco, 1 for Roma.
Nothing to separate them as yet. Although, I will venture to say, as our curse of the commentators continues, there's still time on the clock. There's still time there for something to change. There's not a lot of time, but there's still some time there.
Yes. I think there is time for 1 more goal. Who will score it? I don't know.
15 in-game minutes left plus whatever the referee decides to add on. Here's Kevin Volland, finds the ball through. Baudou, the Dutchman, can he find a way through? He's onside. It's a brilliant block by the defender.
With the last breath, he got to the ball. He'll get to defend, the ball goes out of bounds.
It's Mancini, I believe, with the block there. He had to get there. He had no option but to get there. Although the danger is not over here.
Of course not.
Now Enrique wants to get the ball into the box. See the Celtic clear.
New corner.
It's another corner. Could see that sequence of corners that we're so used to seeing.
It's like once you have 1 corner, they keep coming.
They do indeed, unless they score, which Maripan nearly did. Here's Baudou. Tammy Abraham looking to claim it. He does so, and it rolls out of play.
Whoa, what a ball lost by Roma.
That's really, really bad place to lose it as well. As we see Minamino, what can he do? Minamino into the box, Maripan with the clearance.
It looks like all of the players of both teams seem tired.
They do, certainly do. And that's where substitutions are so critical.
Yes, of course. With good substitutions, you can win a match.
You certainly can. If you time them correctly, they are like gold dust. If you can time them correctly, that's where they come into their own. And 8 minutes left.
I think that both of these players wouldn't mind to draw this game.
I don't think they would, but I think they will always go for this win.
Yes, but I mean...
I think if it ends a draw, I don't think they're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But certainly they'll be trying to steal this at the death. Because looking at it here, it's 4 in-game minutes left here. Roma are on the attack. Malang Sarr heads it back, and you can see there it's just kind of petering out a little bit. See Nubel launching that one forward. 2 in-game minutes left here. Minamino on towards Volland. Andrea Bellotti trying to get this one forward.
This may be the last one.
May just be. Depends on how much the ref is electing to give. If he's as generous as it's been the last couple of games, we'll see 6 minutes.
Yes.
But he may just not. It may be something a little bit shorter. See them deciding on a throw there. We're going to now tick into added time. 3 in-game minutes left. Andrea Bellotti. Must have forgotten man at Roma these days. Here's Volland though, finds Minamino. Minamino launches one forward. It's more in hope rather than expectation. I think that's going to be the draw, and that's going to be 4 points apiece.
It looks like that way.
Yeah, and that is the final whistle. It is 4 points apiece for 3 games. They could not be separated.
They both seem to not be so happy. A little bit of disappointment once again from Monaco.
I think neither team is happy. Neither team is happy to come away without one-upping the other, as it seems. But again, both teams have got 4 points.
Yeah, and great sportsmanship, as Stifler says to Usmakabil. You came coming and coming.
Yeah. It was relentless. There was no words for it.
I love that. Was so Italian. You know?
But again, you know, Roma had their moments. Monaco certainly had their moments. You know, Irma, you know, took that game away from Eldridge quite quickly. You can see that Usmakabil took that game away from Stifler very quickly. Cheers. It was only that last game where it was a little bit more cagey. Once that equaliser had gone in, it then all of a sudden became quite cagey. But yeah, I mean, you know, great to see the sportsmanship on it, of course, as we always see. And yeah, 4 points apiece. You know, you can see there just from the highlights. You see there from the highlights, you'll see there some of the touches. Brilliant double touch, 2 times over, and a wonderful finish. But again, I'm not sure what your view from was where it was from, Sembra, as I can get my words out and put my teeth back in.
No worries. Listen, I have to say that in game 1, you did warn us that you had seen a glint in the eye of Orma. You were looking forward to seeing what he was capable of doing today. He did bring the heat straight out of the gate. He came flying out on all cylinders, and he scored the earliest goal of the day so far. And on top of that, the second goal actually is definitely a contender for the best goal of the day. It was a beautiful combination play, 1 touch off the wall, a nice little spin, and then a finish to the far post. It was a beautiful piece of skill, we could say, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It was almost kind of watching a piece of ballet at one point, just seeing a pirouette from Dybala and then a left-footed finish. It was fantastic to see. But then, of course, game 2 came along.
Yeah.
And
it was another 7-goal thriller, but a completely different type of 7-goal thriller.
It was, you know, I think, you know, as soon as you saw Stifler giving the motion for give me a sub, just let this be over, because I think even he knew. I think at 4-0 it was curtains. And then the last game was really, like I said, once that equaliser went in, it suddenly developed this really cagey nature to it, where all of a sudden nobody really wanted to lose. And it kind of, you know, again, I think 4 points, I think given the start of the day, or given where the teams were at the start of the day, I think Roma will be happier with the 2 of having those 4 points. I think it takes them up to 10 if my mental maths is right.
And based on seeing the celebrations amongst the teammates, I would agree with you. They seem to be the happier bunch of the lot.
Of the 2, and I'm sure we're going to hear off Usmakabil in a second, who, again, it's almost like his permanent mood is just angry, and then it works. But it works for him. It works for him. It's the players who play on emotion and play on the limit.
Of course.
It works for them. We've seen it in real world football. You see it in the virtual world as well. Because even just players who play on the limit always seem to get that little bit extra out of them.
There's a reason why he in particular, Usmakabil, is a 4-time champion, right? Yes. He is someone who is so skillful and so masterful at what he does. And today he really came, like you said, very much focused in the zone, really sharp, knew exactly what he wanted to do against Stifler, and that's exactly what he did. 6 goals.
Well, it's easier to list what he hasn't won than what he has won. It's easier to list off the things he hasn't done. And he's a phenomenal player, and again, like I said, for me, the best to ever do it, and will still continue to do it.
Well, he actually, I think we could say, one of his goals also could be considered as one of the contenders of the goal of the day as well, his 4th one, and Stifler was able to get a little bit of a consolation prize in the end, but Usmakabil has been able to pick up 4 points for AS Monaco so far across the 2 days. Well, Fiorita is with him now. Why don't we go ahead and get his thoughts then about his individual performance as well as collectively for AS Monaco.
And here I am with Usmakabil, I might say man of the match, 6-1, it's a big difference, and you go home with 4 points. It's a good result or a bad result?
We are the champion, we won 3-time eFootball. It's not a good result, but first time GG to Roma, they pay a lot. I know them, they have a good level, they train a lot, and It's for me it's good for both team, 4 points, and now we will focus on the next match.
We were impressed that your style and Cam's style is completely different, using the same team, and you got 6 goals. Which is the way for Monaco in this season?
Because Cam's miss a goal. If he score, I think if he score the second in the first half time, he can win maybe 4 or 5. But it's like this. It's esports. It's like this. If you miss, he will score. Your opponent will score, and we accept. For me, it's 4 points. 4 points. We don't play. For me, we don't play good. I win my game, but Ulma, for example, play better than O'Neill, and Cam's. It's a close game and finish 1-1.
Okay, next match is against Milan, and they started very well. How do you prepare for that game?
I know them. They play very good. It's different team, but for me it's like this Matchday because they are Italian player. They have all the same style. I think we will be ready, but we will see. It's totally different when you play in offline than online. We are ready, but we will see.
Well, it's the actual champion. It's a legend in this game. It's Maccabi. Thank you very much. Congratulations.